Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast and our feature Super Tuesday. Before we meet today's Super Tuesday guest, as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So please take the next 3 minutes, listen to these messages. These are all companies that I used as an AD. Then listen to our guest, and then go visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Huddle for their support. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but as an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school. And all of our coaches and our student athletes just loved the tools that Huddle provided that allowed our coaches to take them to the next level. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users, and turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank the Ohio University Online Masters in Athletic Administration. This is an affordable 20-month online program. My assistant AD got his master's through Ohio University's program. The other neat thing is that you will earn 11 NIAAA leadership training courses that you can use towards your CAA or your RAA, and you'll be a part of a nationwide network in athletic administration. To get started, just go to ohio.edu/info/MAA, the Ohio University Online Masters. We want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your student athletes, your parents, your coaches, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to connect you with your entire stakeholder population, not just the people you already hear from, the complainers, but everybody else. And the information that comes through that survey is tremendously valuable, especially when you're visiting with a frustrated parent, or maybe your principal, or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com to find out all the things they can do. We also want to say thanks to Home Campus. Home Campus is a platform that you're going to use every single day for things like scheduling, uploading rosters and scores, communicating with your state association, your parents, your coaches. How about student athlete eligibility and clearance? Who doesn't do that every day? Home Campus does all of these things and more, and it does it better and it does it faster. Go to homecampus.com. That's it, homecampus.com. We want to thank Vital Signs Wall of Fame for their support. If you're looking for a really cool way to show off your school record boards for all the teams, for all the events, or your school's Hall of Fame, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com and take a look at their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's also a great way to share your school's unique history and your proudest moments. The website is vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank Snap Raise. If you are frustrated with the fundraising platforms and activities you've tried, stop right here. Go to snapraise.com. Hands down, the best online fundraiser out there. We used it at our school with great success. Our parents loved it. Our coaches loved it because it works. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, go to snapraise.com. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider for schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more. Go to hometownticketing.com. It's digital ticketing that offers more. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo to see their score tables and their score boards in action. Probably the best purchase I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com to get started and take a look at that web demo. And we want to thank Gipper. These days, your kids and their parents are on social media. And if you're not creating content to showcase your program and celebrate your athletes, you're really missing out. Go to Gipper.com. Their team will have you creating world-class marketing content in seconds, and it's so easy, even I can do it. Gipper's used and trusted by over 4,000 high school and college programs. It's Professional graphic design made simple. Go to Gipper.com to get started. Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of Super Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We've got one of our good friends and a regular of the podcast, Albert Weeden Jr. Regular listeners will recognize that name, but if you're new to the podcast, Albert is the principal and the athletic director at Loachapoka High School. That's in Auburn, Alabama. Has a tremendous background in athletics as a coach, as an athletic director. He's a certified master athletic administrator, and he's part of our Super Tuesday team. So, Albert, welcome back. And what do you have for our listeners on this episode of Super Tuesday?
Hello, Jake. Hey, thanks for having me back on the Educational Podcast. Hey, it's always one of my favorite things to do. I love the little golden nuggets you all be giving me when I listen to everyone else on here. So I'm looking forward to sharing some information with our listeners out there. And hey, thank you, listeners, for all you do to support and sponsors for this program, because this is a must-have here for all our coaches and athletic directors. This session here, I want to talk some more about to our coaches because I know we're concerned about, I guess, the officials and the shortage and and things that's going on with coaches and all this. This segment here is going to be short and sweet, and it's for the coaches. All right, you should be done with your seasons. School is over with, or you should be probably getting ready to start a new season coming up in the fall. I need you to do a self-evaluation, coaches. You need to evaluate yourself. Okay. I don't know if your athletic director has a self-evaluation for you, but if you don't have one, contact me, 334-750-2071. That's my direct cell phone number. We all have to evaluate ourselves, coaches, athletic directors. So do a self-evaluation. As a coach, you should be to have an evaluation tool, something that has evidence, what you're doing as a coach. All right. And that tool, I have plenty of them here at the school. I can email you. It's about what are you doing on the court, off the court, in the locker rooms, at practice. You have to evaluate yourself and find out how I can get better and make myself better so I can help be a role model for our kids and other coaches, how they acting on the sidelines, how they acting, after the game, win, lose, or draw, doesn't matter. You have to evaluate everything you're doing so we all can make this world a better place. I've been watching, you see YouTube videos, you see breaking news on the news, internet videos. We have to do better as coaches and administrators. All right. Everybody is watching you. So please, before your season starts, do a self-evaluation of where you are personally. I know if you're a teacher, you should do a self-evaluation of your academics and your teaching, your best practices. It's the same thing for coaches. You need to do a best practice for yourself as for your self-evaluation as far as coaching. Okay, your philosophy. How are you talking to students? How are you treating student athletes? How you're interacting with parents? All these different things you have to evaluate. Once you do that self-evaluation before the season starts, then do you a mid-time evaluation in the middle of your season. All right, let's evaluate what the things that you said you're going to work on, the things that you talked about in your evaluation. Go back and see where you are. Then you do a postseason evaluation of all the things. That same evaluation tool, it doesn't change, it's the same one. You do a self-evaluation, which is the preseason, do one in the middle of the season, and do one at the end of the season. And if you want to get better, coaches, your AD should do one on you. So that way you got two different eyes looking at you. Okay. And you should also do one for your assistant coaches. All right. We got to hold each other accountable. And it starts now. And the last piece of that evaluation, a lot of coaches don't want to do this, but I highly recommend it. You need to do a player coach evaluation. Okay. So that means your players need to do a full evaluation of you after that season's over with. Okay, once that season's over, they need to do a full evaluation. It can be anonymous. That way you won't be holding anything against them, but they need to make sure that they let you know how they feel about you as a person, you as a coach, and you as a teacher at your school. That is very important so you all can learn and become better. You know, you want to get better. You want to build better relationships with your coaches. So this segment, we're talking about coaching evaluation, your self-evaluation. You need to do a preseason one in the middle of the season, and one at the end, and make sure somebody else is doing one for you too. If you don't have an athletic director at your school, make sure let your another coach do it. Okay, and it's just what they see. You know, it's good to have a different set of eyes. You know, evaluating you. You know, walking through your practice, see what's going on. Everybody dressed the same. You know, coaches dressed appropriately. All those things reflect you and your program. It's very important if you want to run a high class program. Not winning and losing. I haven't mentioned anything about winning and losing. Okay, it's a self evaluation of yourself. And the last piece, once again, is that coach player evaluation. Your player should do an evaluation on you at the end of that season, and it could be anonymous, you know, and we collect that data, get you a Google form, you can send it out to them so they can do that evaluation, and they know that you're not going to hold anything against them because you're going to encourage them. You're going to make sure they understand. I want to know how you feel about me. It's nothing personal, but we want to make sure that everyone is inclusive, you know, and feel inviting in your atmosphere as a coach. So today, I'm talking about coaches, your maturation, your development. That's very important that we get a self-evaluation and that player coach evaluation. So those players know that, hey, my coach understands that, hey, I'm going to express my opinions no matter what the situation is to my coach respectfully, and they understand I can come to them at any time because I'm normally going to evaluate them after the season, you know, as the player to the coach. And those things, once you get that data, you can go back and talk to those players and build meaningful relationships. You're going to take them and you to the next level, not just in athletics, but in life. Them being able to go talk to people. It's hard for students to talk to people or kids to come talk to you. This is going to build that relationship and bridge that gap between the student, coach, you know, and the teacher for you all be on the same page. And so you can do the ultimate goal, which is character-based athletics, you know, building character, instilling in them good things for them to be good people.
You know, the evaluation thing is just so important. And again, you grow over the years as an AD. I finished my career out the last 5 or 6 years. I would ask the coaches, and they knew it was coming. When you come in for our meeting, we just called it a postseason review. We didn't say evaluation, but I said, I want you to bring me 2 or 3 things that you thought you did well, and 1 or 2 things that you think you would like to get better at. You know, it could be anything tactical or motivational. And then what I could do as the athletic director to help you accomplish that goal. And a lot of the time, you know, we were both thinking on the same way. It was rare for, you know, this coach, well, I'm the greatest motivator in the world. And well, actually, you're not, coach. That didn't happen
Got
too
their own
often.
TED talk,
Yeah.
huh?
But I love your point about having the coaches get that evaluation from the student athletes. We are constantly saying, you know, we have a great culture and want our kids to buy in and sacrifice and all this stuff. Well, if you don't, you know, let them be a part and have buy in, if they're not buying in, it's going
Yes.
to be hard to build that culture. So great, great advice. Okay?
Yeah, that's very important that the player piece, they have to understand and know that they can go and tell the truth, speak the truth, their truths, you know, not the coach's truth, the player's truth from their point of view, from their vision that they see.
Yeah. And when you do that as a coach, when you open yourself up and say, hey, you know, I really want, you know, your opinion, and then you utilize points of that. It's not just
Right.
an empty exercise.
It's not.
That's when you found you got something special. You know, that's when you know you really have got their heart. Albert, always great information. If one of our listeners wants more, you know, if they want to pick your brain a little bit more, find out how you do things with your program at Loachapoka, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you again?
The number one way to reach me is at my direct cell phone number, and that's 334-750-2071. That's 334-750-2071 is my direct school cell phone number. That's the best way to reach me. You can call me, you can text me, and I can send you any information you can right there from my handset, whether it's a Google form about evaluations or any of these things I've talked about, I can send it to you in no time, and you can call me and talk about it anytime you want to.
Well, thanks again for sharing today. All the best with your coaches and your teams moving forward. And let's get, we're looking forward to seeing you down at the national conference again in Austin.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, Jake. And hopefully maybe this summer I might catch you on a fishing trip.
Hey, we're definitely going to get that plan. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For listeners, of course, we appreciate you tuning in. And just a reminder, we upload all of our Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. Thanks again for listening. Come back just about every day for best practices on one of our segments on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. And once again, before we go, we want to thank all of our great sponsors. Take a moment and visit these sponsors. Talk to them about their products. I use them, every single one, as an athletic director. You're going to be happy you made that call. So reach out to Gipper. Reach out to Huddle and Hometown Ticketing. Take a look at Home Campus and Sideline Interactive. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Snap Raise. The Ohio University Online Masters, and even K-12 Sports Tech, our Wednesday Wisdom sponsor. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.